not a good position. They need to get out of here somehow. And Apex, MBK helping out, maybe shooting his way out of the corner, and they're gonna end up making it working. Look at that grin on Kenny as well. 15-5. That was a horrendous position.
And now, speaking of horrendous, it's the Quasi. It was the Quasi in the last round, and now it's going to be the buy, whatever Na'Vi can get. Countdown begins. EnVy aren't going to pause now. There's nothing left here for Na'Vi but to get the job done. 10 rounds in a row, and that will only get them overtime. So this is it, EnVy. They have 10 match points to play with. Double op play, all of the nades, everything they need. Now it's all about keeping their cool, well, and starting off strong. Happy is taken out seized, and this is it.
Not exactly the kind of beginning that Na'Vi were looking for, but it's been like this throughout all of Cobblestone, it seems. EnVy are just, whatever they try, even with the failing position back there, 2 men in a corner, it still works out. They could do no wrong.
And this is where it's nearly impossible for Na'Vi to predict what's going to be thrown at them. With 10 match points, EnVy can go for any kind of harebrained scheme they want. They have so much room for error. So Happy going for an aggressive peek? Sure, why not? Seized is gone now. 4 players remain here for Na'Vi, and they're going to be pressing onto this site, and it's an ideal situation for them, but MBK removes Zeus, and it's not looking good.
Oh, and a second headshot there. Flamey gonna be gone. Hiroshima, and there it is. Taking it down. EnVy winning the last major of 2015 and the second title in a row here for 3 of these players. The first for Kenny and Apex. What a victory.
Well, there you have it. After coming so close and losing out to Fnatic in the finals of the last major, this time around, EnVy, they clinch it 2-0. No mistakes made. They get the job done. And once again, a French team stands at the top of the world.
We are going to go to Red Eye on the stage here, and a very excited EnVy.
A fantastic victory for EnVyUs at DreamHack Open Cluj-Napoca. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for EnVyUs! Congratulations to EnVy. A deserved victory after a terrific performance in the grand final. And hopefully we can get a few words from Kenny. Come and join us. Kenny, come and join us. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenny, yes! It's been a long time coming. You've been named as the best player in the world in the past. You've had your downs and you've had your ups. Try and put into words what it feels like right now to be a world champion.
Yeah, that's why it's been a long time I'm waiting for it, and it's too much emotion right now, so it's amazing. It feels really amazing.
In terms of the way you played in the grand final as well, could it have gone any better for you?
Standard.
So perfect for you.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kenny S. A fantastic victory for EnVyUs as they claim their first as a brand and the second for 3 of them. Let's find out what our analysis thought of that one.
And it was never in doubt, baby. I didn't doubt it from a second. And the thing is, though, like, I can honestly say, hand on heart, I've been calling them, you know, they were going to win this for months. I said that this is going to be the #1 team in the world. Well, this is how you emphatically announce that you've arrived. You end the Fnatic era, that's done. So you come through, yeah, okay, you struggled a little bit against G2 Esports, then you get into a final against real top caliber opposition, and you just do a demolition job. Beat them on their own map, wreck them on yours, and the major is going home with the French.
Yeah, I mean, coming into the event, they just edged the #1 title for me in terms of my rankings. And then coming into the final, okay, it's easy to say like we did, it's their tournament to lose, all the rest of it. But yeah, they didn't play TSM. That's because TSM got wrecked by NIP very easily. Yeah, they didn't play Virtus.pro. That's because Virtus.pro lost to G2. It's not their fault that these other top teams, top ranked teams, couldn't make it through. They beat who was in front of them, including two-time reigning major champions Fnatic. They beat this really hot Gamers 2 team, who are no slouches certainly. And then Na'Vi, coming into the final, coming in incredible form. We saw them earlier today. Guardian, even though he lost, might be the MVP of the whole tournament. He was in such a high level, so This had its own unique flair, its own kind of chapters to how they won. And what a great storyline that they win on Cobblestone, exactly the second map that caused them all the heartbreak in Cologne.
Yeah, exactly right. I was just going to say, Kenny S needs to call Ozzy Osbourne, no more tears. He's done it.
No more tears.
But maybe even more tears, who knows?
Maybe.
Tears of happiness.
And to think, when this team formed, I remember even watching Thorin's thoughts about the current EnVy or the new EnVy. It's like, I don't think this is a championship team. I think they compete in top 3. Here you have him. I mean, and what a showing.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, yes, go on, honestly.
I mean, again, a great showing of the second map. MBK was like, all right, the show's going to be over. I'm taking matters to my own hands, and he was going berserk. I mean, that's the thing with this lineup. It's just amazing, the depth that they have. First map, you have Kenny, you had Happy, Kiyoshima was a bit absent. Actually, the funny part was Kiyoshima was absent pretty much for the first half of Cobble, comes in the last round, yep, wrecks everyone, of course.
Yeah, but that's how it happens, isn't it? I mean, that's the problem with trying to beat EnVyUs. They've just got so much talent that you only need to show up for maybe 1 or 2 rounds, and that's enough to get you over the finish line. That's enough to establish yourself as being in this elite level of stars. Now, I got a special mention to MBK on Cobble. Just ridiculous. That ace, I feel, was, and I even tweeted this, that's literally where he broke the back of Na'Vi, because they shouldn't have lost that round. It was like 5-0. They finally get themselves back into it, and MBK just absolutely broke their hearts. Now, we'll get more into it. We are going to do a statistical breakdown. What we're going to do now is we're going to go over to MBK, the man that broke Na'Vi's hearts on that second map. He's with Sir Scoots and the trophy.
Thank you, gentlemen. My final interview of the night, the big winner and crucial part of that victory, especially the second map. How you feeling?
It's amazing. Now I know why Fnatic worked that hard to win several majors, and I'm insanely happy right now. Proud of the whole team.
And again, your second major, first for the EnVyUs team, and obviously first for Kenny S. He plays amazing all game long, especially the first one, but you and Apex on that second map. He started strong, Kenny did, but you guys finished strong. Again, looking at the stats, both maps you start 7-0 runs, which has to just kind of settle the nerves, get the confidence going.
Yeah, although on train it was extremely close, like everyone was super tight. So any lost round was putting us into a double eco situation. So it was very hard, but I think the most important part on train was our morale. We were down 12-8 or something like that, and then we managed to grab only good rounds against Na'Vi, and that was very hard to do. So yeah, extremely proud of the whole team. I was not very active in that one, but yeah, Kenny, you know, he didn't do such a great performance at the last major, but he wanted to come back and to prove himself, and I guess he did.
He absolutely did. I think he shut up a lot of doubters for sure. Now, going back to train, one of the rounds that I thought was a deal breaker. First, we were looking at it going, oh no, we're going overtime again. But Happy in the B-bomb site, defending the plant, dies as he's throwing the nade off the corner, blows up Edward, win the round.
Yeah, crazy situation. We knew he was probably low on health, and then I screamed, "You got a nade!" And he just tossed it before dying, and yeah, that was a crucial round again. Like every single victory we could get was just, you know, putting us closer to a possible comeback. So, yeah, just incredible plays left and right, and from both our side and their side.
Yeah, that first game especially, again, we were again sitting in the caster area going, we're going to have overtime again. What's going to happen here? But then obviously you start Cobble and you start it strong. Again, Kenny very strong in the beginning, but then if you just look at my notes, it goes NBK 2, Apex 2, NBK 2, Apex 2. You guys owned the middle of that first half, and I think that really kind of sets you up to win the whole thing.
Yeah, the 7-0 start was pretty crazy. We made next to no mistake. Although the last 2 rounds we won, the 7-0 and 8-0 were pretty shaky. It was just, yeah, we just tried to play our best, pretty much. And we came into losing few rounds, but we're not connected. And at 8-5, we were, okay, if we close the last 2 rounds, then we're going to have a good side and we can go into the second half pretty happy, which we did. Yeah, just overall very good first side, and then I think their morale just went down pretty much.
And it seems like they are the kind of team that once they start arguing and fighting, it's probably not going to be easy for them to recover. And again, at the end of it, you top 25-9. We talked yesterday about a not so good game for you where you were bottom stacking. And again, so you did it when you needed to clutch. Apex did it when it needed to clutch, and certainly Kenny S. Final thoughts to your fans, your teammates on this epic performance by you guys.
First off, I'm extremely proud of the whole team. Everyone performed at this major whenever it was needed. Everyone was able to pick itself up, and that was very important. Then obviously, our fans are just incredible. They're all over the place, always screaming, cheering for us, no matter what happens, pretty much. And those true fans are just amazing to be supported by. And yeah, overall it was a great event as well. Yeah, again, proud, very happy, and looking forward for the next games.
Fantastic. Congratulations again, Nathan. There you have it. EnVyUs is our new grand champion. Richard and the gang, walk us through one more time how well they did and how they did it. Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot for that, Scott. And just quickly to Nathan, I told you we'd be drinking champagne in Cluj. Anyway, let's do it. Let's break down this amazing game for all the fans at home. Let's go back. Let's talk about the first map. The impossible task for EnVyUs. You're going up against Na'Vi on train. You're not supposed to win this. This is supposed to be a 3-mapper as soon as that goes through. And just incredibly, and it's like you said, this is predicated on individual skill rather than a tactical outthinking. They just managed to edge it 16-14, and you can see the numbers here.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, when you look at it, yeah, EnVyUs was getting that great start. They were doing so well. It's looking at, oh, actually, EnVyUs is somehow going to roll Na'Vi's map. And yet, all of a sudden, Na'Vi was picking up around here, around there, around there. And then suddenly it was really close going into the second half. That's because Na'Vi is a great trained team. They know how to play the map. You give them a slight opening, they're going to take advantage of it. EnVyUs was able to win it, yeah, with fantastic skill, clutching. These are the intangibles you can't plan for. You can't plan how a clutch is going to play out. You have to have the player in the position. He has to be capable of winning it. And obviously, EnVyUs have some of the most clutch potential in the entire world, top to bottom in this team.
Then we get on to Cobble, obviously the French map. Now, I want to ask you guys over here, both ex-players, in terms of this obviously newly balanced Cobble, I can't think of a team that plays this better than EnVyUs. Do you guys agree with that?
I mean, in that match specifically, like the pace, the tempo they were keeping, Na'Vi really had nothing going on with that. Like they just couldn't hold it. I mean, just B rushes, A rushes, and getting all the entries in BK, like we pointed out, was just going ham on them. And they at the point where, like you pointed out, that round was like what, 2-on-4s and what like that. It seemed like Na'Vi may, they might have something going on here. Managed to lose that one as well. And you're like, yeah, all right, this is done for.
It kind of felt somewhat that they actually gave up after Train. I think that they had in their mindset, okay, we're going to win Train, sure, screw Cobble, and then we're just going to go on to the third map, and we're going to win that one. Same as any other team. You always count that as, that your map, that's the one you win. Their map is going to be rough. If you win, great. Yeah. But your map will always be a win, and then being so close to actually win that map, leaving it into a third map. Oh, it's just hard.
Same as last major, right? That's exactly what EnVyUs did. They thought Dust 2's ours. They were in position. They lost it. Cobble's supposed to be Fanatics, and they fell apart.
Yeah, look, it's actually the same scenario. Envy just fell apart second map. Na'Vi here as well fell apart second map. Guardian was the only one that really showed up somewhat, and it just wasn't enough, especially when you have Kenny S on a roll throughout the final, NBK showing up at the last map. It's not that much you can do, especially when they were so hungry, right?
I mean,
you're
yeah,
basically
I'm glad you brought up Guardian. We'll got a quick clip of him here trying to do his level best to turn the tide. And you can see this is this 1-on-3.
It's like
just
I said,
absolute sick.
It's unfortunately it's not the Guardian show entirely. He has to have his his backing singers. He has to have the supporting actors, as it were. The days of Guardian alone, just single-handedly taking a game over, it's not going to happen against teams like a TSM or an EnVyUs. You needed Flamey, or you had Seized on the first map and you came close. Unfortunately, Guardian was great throughout this whole tournament. He did his part. No one really turned up for his guys on that second map, and he was just like, "Why y'all ain't help me?"
Yeah, why y'all ain't helping me, man?
I mean,
game on point.
This comes down to what I said prior to the match, that Na'Vi may have peaked in this tournament prior to the tournament. I felt like they did. They were playing perfectly against NIP. Obviously, NIP is not the team as EnVyUs is, but still, they just played, not even close to as good. And they were making these small little mistakes here and there. And when you give those opportunities to players like that EnVy has, as we've seen time over time, they will capitalize on them every single time.
And we talked in the pre-match about the important component of EnVyUs being this egoless water carrier, does the hard work. He stepped up in a big way and showed that, hey, I don't play the way I play in a support role because I have to, because I'm weak. Because when I want to, I can do things like this. This is the next clip from MBK. Ridiculous stuff.
Yeah, this is exactly the point about this team's depth. It doesn't matter really who's going to be the guy, but this time was MBK, just put him with the numbers and just basically destroying Navi's defense on his own.
What a lot of people don't know about MBK is that he's literally the only player who's been a part in CSGO of every single French world #1 team. It used to be him and Shox who were, but you see now Shox isn't a part of this lineup and they're still the world #1s. And the reason why is because he has the skill set of a star player or a very versatile mid-round type player. And what he's done with all of his teams is he goes to his in-game leader and they kind of figure out the philosophy of the team, whether it's one deciding the other or agreeing on it, and then they build the base of the team from that, and then they add in the other pieces. They figure out how are we going to use this versatile player to make the other stars be integrated into a unit. It's not just stars.
Well, it's perhaps no surprise to learn who the MVP of the series was. We were talking about it in the pre-show. Before we come on air, got to be MBK. MBK, of course. There you go. And this is what you do when you're, a support player who's capable of being a star. Just wonderful all-round performance from him.
Well, if you die 9 times and you're getting those sorts of numbers, the impact's huge. I always stress this. Kills alone aren't enough. If you get kills but you give up a lot of deaths, okay, you're kind of trading there, You're having an impact. When you can have a massive amount of kills, win clutches, and you're giving a very few deaths, you're destroying the economy of the enemy then. The swing just from your performance against the enemy is huge. And so you essentially directly are the MVP, the most valuable player in the server.
I mean, just a few more words. I mean, I guess we should give commiserations, of course, to Na'Vi. They did incredibly well to get to the final. I don't think many people predicted that. They put on a masterclass against NIP. This was just a bridge too far for them. Do we think they can build on this final appearance, bounce back, maybe get into the final in the next major?
I think I might be stretching it a little bit. For me, they had the miracle run, okay? They had a wonderful run. Everything came together. Now, listen, if that happens again, we can see they've got the tools to do it. But like kind of what we saw in the final here, everything has to almost go right because the stars that Na'Vi need are very set. A team like EnVyUs has the ridiculous luxury of, a couple of our stars aren't going off. Oh, well, in theory, the support player takes over the game now. Not a lot of teams can do that. That's why EnVyUs is one of the all-time great teams. Na'Vi's a very good team, so maybe, but I wouldn't put my money at right now.
Yeah. And I want to ask you guys just some final thoughts about, my postulation, which is Fnatic era very much over. This is where the EnVyUs dynasty begins. I believe that. I knew in Cologne that they had the potential to win that major. It was their first major together as a team. They make it to the final, heartbreak. Now, sometimes you got to take that and you got to let it galvanize you. You can't let it wash over. You can't let it defeat you. And they've been great ever since. And they've had this heroic run against TSM, who you would probably say is the other team that maybe could step up and take the crown. Didn't do it at this event. Is EnVyUs building something here that's going to last a long, long time?
I do feel like it because you could see already in Cologne. I mean, they had only played together 4 weeks at that point, and still they did what they did, managing to get into the finals. And I mean, just looking at that team, we're discussing MBK, who can be a star potential, but it's wise enough to realize that he's surrounded by players that have the potential to do a lot of things. That he doesn't have to, but he can raise to the occasion. So, considering the mental fortitude, the psychological side of this team, combined with the skill level they have right now, I do think they can be a force to reckon with for at least the next 12 months.
Okay, maybe not 12 months. Let's calm down here a little bit. Maybe 6 months, and then you have the French shuffle. Someone will leave, someone will come back.
Welcome back, Shocks. You know, we love you. We always thought it would be like
sorted out our
NES is
issues.
dysfunctional, you know.
We'll let us celebrate the win now, but like, okay, I'll say 6 months. As for who can stop them at this point in time, I think if TSM decides to actually stop choking during majors, that would be great, because then we'll actually have a proper rivalry. Because right now, Fnatic, they're gone, way gone.
It ain't a rivalry if one half of it's getting absolutely wailed on all the time.
Exactly.
You might not like it.
Exactly. You can't go and win the other tournaments.
Back.
Yeah, you can't go and win the other
Nip
tournaments.
Yeah, exactly.
87-0 here, boys.
Anyway, look, thanks for your thoughts, gentlemen. Now, of course, Counter-Strike is a community. We know that. I was honored when I got asked to host this. So what I want to do is bring on all the talent. We named, obviously, a ridiculous roster of talent. I consider all of these guys my friends, so we'll get them all out.
Our
These are the
family.
guys that help bring you the entertainment. An absolute plethora of star power. All right, buddy. I want to, of course, as well thank all of the production team. We were staying up late during some of these games, but they stayed up even later. They made us look good, especially the makeup lady.
Yeah.
I want to thank all the awesome fans of the city of Cluj-Napoca, especially the one who mistook me for Anders. Congratulations to EnVyUs. This was the major. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you at the next one. Much love.